again because he's got to do this every single time.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead. No, right? With water, no back.
Oh, okay.
Right? So with water, you're going to come back and just turn up. Right? Go ahead. Right? Now, when all of these leaping movements, now this is for your feet, right? It applies to metal too. When you do it, when you do your leap, you're trying not to do that.
Oh, not to do that?
You're trying to do this.
Okay.
I always tell people, think of an airplane. If you have a good pilot, you never feel the landing, right? So, but he always lands the back tires first, and then the front tire touches, and it just feels it feels like the plane lands really smooth.
Yeah.
If it's a bad landing, you kind of feel that little bump, and then the nose drops, and you hit.
Yeah.
That's what you don't want. You don't want to feel the bump and the toe drop.
Okay.
Pat Mark said Peter always said that give you brain damage. You go, no, don't land on your heel. He said you get brain damage.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm done already. I landed on my heel way too much already. So, what you're going to do, right? When you come out, the goal is to almost make it feel like your whole foot. Your heel slightly lands, but if you point your toe forward, it feels like your foot hits all at once, and your toes grip.
Okay, so if it hits all at once...
It's really not. Your heel's going to hit a little ahead,
okay.
but the toes, because they're pointed forward, will be, instead of them like this, like you do in Tai Chi, where you really have that obvious roll, what you're going to do is when you push your leg out, put your foot, you're going to take your foot, point your toe, and what will happen is your heel's only this far off the ground, right? And it feels like your whole foot almost hits at the same exact time. Okay. It doesn't have to hit at the same exact time, but that's what it feels like.
Right.
Right? So you're not, and you don't want to land on the ball of your foot.
Okay, no.
Right, you don't want this and then this. You want your foot to come out so that, if you take your toe and point it forward, if you do this and you lift your foot up, then you'll get that dropping, right? But what you really want to do is, as you come back to your rooster, you'll come back, let your foot drop. So your foot goes up, then your foot goes down and slides forward. And if you slide forward and point your toe forward, you'll get a little drop, and then you'll feel a grip with your foot. Because it'll feel like your whole foot grips at once. Yes?
Yeah.
Almost like it stops you.
Yeah, little brakes.
Yes.
But that's a bad pilot also.
Huh?
Who just hits the brakes.
Yeah, we don't want, yeah. So, right, what you're doing, now what happens is, because you're leaping, you don't want to land on your heel. When you land on your heel, it jars all your joints.
Okay.
Right? That's why he said you get brain damage, right? So if you leap and you leap far and you land on your heel, jars your ankle, jars your knee, jars your hip, jars your spine, jars your head. Right? That's all the leaps in Xingyi.
Okay.
So something to work on.
It's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
See, I can't do it big now.
That's okay. Your stances will get a little bit smaller initially because you're going to focus on it. You can't do it, and then they'll widen up as you do it more. That's normal. It's something we keep coming back to.
It's cool. It's the most common thing.
A lot of styles really emphasize that foot movement, and what will happen is a lot of styles. What makes Peter's, like I've seen a lot of people do the whole big Xingyi like we do, but they don't pick, like when Peter does it, and the way I was taught was to really show that low rooster and then step out,
just skip
and then show the low rooster. They skip the low rooster. So what they do is they come out, but when they come up to do their next one, their foot. So what they emphasize really is more of a stomp, almost with the whole foot. It's not with the heel, in order to get that same exact feeling.
Yeah.
Right?
I see that a lot.
Yeah. Now, when you think about it, and there's nothing wrong with that on a training purpose. But on Peter's, I've kept, again, I haven't changed what he does. But every time that you pick your foot up, right, you're evading something. So if I go to stomp your lower leg, even Xingyi, I go for your lower foot, doing like a dragon kind of movement. If you don't pick your foot up, you're not going to move it out of the way. So it's not that it has to always be used that way in application, but we're back to that other certain part that comes back together like that. So, so I make sure we emphasize that. So,
when I turn, does these turn up, right?
yes. Now, when you turn,
This one is different.
this one's different. This turn around, right? So you did your water. You'll hook, turn, come back. Now, as you turn around, as your hand comes out, your hand opens. That only happens on the turnaround. Right? When you come up, water. Now, when you're doing your regular water, your hand comes, stays, opens on its own, up, and go. So it's a separate movement. So it's going to, the form will feel choppy. And your metal and your water, the size of your stance should be the same width, right? It's a regular 1.5 times your shoulders.
This turns, and then I do the uppercut. I'm not uppercut like that.
Right, so just like metal, right, so you did your water, you'll hook, step, turn, you'll come right back to here, right to your dantian, you'll come back, and as you come out, your hand opens.
So it's not
No,
turn now.
no,
It's turn
no.
and then come out.
You finish,
Yeah.
hook, step, turn, I'm set. Now I'm ready to go back the other direction. I've turned around, I come back, I come out, I come up,